Hi guys! In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you 10 practical life activities that your child can do from the age of 12 to 18 months old. If you haven't been here before, then this is part of my Montessori at home series, which I'll link here for you and you can go and check that out. My name is Abigail and I make videos based around intentional Christian parenting. And as I already said, today's video is going to be about practical life activities your child can do from an age of around 12 to 18 months. My son is currently around about 18 months, so I'm going to insert lots of footage of him doing the things that I talk about today, and you'll kind of see that what I'm talking about by realistic, the amount of things that he does is realistic, because a lot of the time if you read Montessori books, then you see that there's a big list of things by age and when they should be doing certain things, and some of those things seem very advanced for certain ages. So I've kept it really realistic and what my child is actually doing at the age of 12 to 18 months, so you can kind of get an overall idea. Very briefly, if you don't know what a practical life activity is, it is essentially something that you do in your day-to-day life, which is kind of a task that you do. So adults do it and you're kind of teaching your child to do it. It's like practical life skills. So like making your bed or brushing your teeth or making dinner, those are all practical life skills, and we're just making these age appropriate for this age. Practical life activities are really great to do with your toddler because A, they absolutely love it. They really enjoy getting involved with what you're doing. And then B, you're also generating these skills within them, these practical life skills, and helping them to become more independent. So without further ado, let's crack on into it. So one of the first skills that you can start to generate within your child, and this is one of the first ones that I started with, and it was based around mealtime, and it's drinking from an open cup and eating with cutlery. So my son began drinking from an open cup probably around 9 months of age, but of course you can start from 6 months of age and just get a much smaller cup. The IKEA shot glasses I've used when he was a little bit smaller, and they're really great because they're a little tiny kind of size, and they're really great for like little tiny hands to hold on to. And also it's very Montessori because it's glass, so they have to get used to being careful with it. And then, but now I just use it in kind of, again from IKEA, but it's the big plastic kind of cups that you get. And then the cutlery that I use, I'll link below. We really like this cutlery. It's like really great for the little hands to hold on to because of the shape of the handles. But then also it's metal, so they're really getting used to how to use proper cutlery. So that's one of the first things that you can encourage, and you can start this from 6 months, but Samuel really, and my son really got into it from about 12 months plus. The next thing you can do is you can help them to get their shoes or their jacket when you're getting ready to go out. So you can teach them, like show them where their shoes live, and then kind of introduce the language with shoes and jacket. And what I tend to do is I tend to just say the words. So I say shoes, and I don't say anything else. So I don't say go and get your shoes or give me your shoes and shoes. And I try not to repeat myself a million times as well. I say shoes, and then I give a minute, like a few seconds or so, to kind of let it sink in, and then if I need to, I repeat it again, just so that you can kind of just kind of sinks in. So it takes toddlers and children a lot longer to process something and then act on it, so you just need to leave a little bit of time for that. But yeah, you can say shoes and they go and get it, and jacket and go and get it, and then you can help them put them on. The next activity we're going to talk about is they can help to comb their hair. So of course you're going to have to comb their hair properly, but then before or after I give Samuel, my son, the comb, and he goes through and combs his hair a little bit. Obviously not well, but it's just to get into the, like to let them understand what a comb is or a brush is and how to use it, and he's really getting the hang of that now. The fourth activity you can do is let your child help to brush their teeth. So I of course brush their teeth properly. It's very difficult for them to brush their own teeth properly. So I brush Samuel's teeth properly, and then I give him the toothbrush, and he kind of just chews in it a little bit mainly and kind of tries to do it himself. And eventually that'll turn into him being able to brush his teeth himself. And I think if your child doesn't like getting their teeth brushed, like my son doesn't, giving them the brush to get used to before or after when they're quite young is a really good way to get them used to brushing their teeth. Practical life activity number 5 is a latches board, and I'll just show you mine quickly. This is one we have. It is from Melissa and Doug, and if you don't know what a latches board is, literally what it sounds like. This is little flaps, and you learn, it's teaching them to learn to open latches, and then there's a little thing underneath. And that's really great because that is a practical life activity that you're going to have to learn to open locks and different things like that. I'll link that down below if you want to go and check that one out, but there's a bunch of different ideas and different ones you can buy. and Samuel loves this. This is perfect if you have a 1-year-old that's just kind of turning 1. Samuel got this like a month or so ago for Christmas, and it was like the perfect level for him because he really enjoys using that. So I would recommend that for another practical life activity. Number 6 is they will be able to hopefully change their clothes with assistance. So Samuel is a very excitable toddler. I have got some footage that I'll insert, and you can see that he gets so excited, especially in the morning. So it's very difficult for him he finds it difficult to change his clothes, but I do try and get him involved. I put him in front of a full length mirror, and he can take his feet out, put his feet in. He knows where his socks go. He can put his arms through the holes. He's got the general idea, but I would definitely say that if you're reading a Montessori book and it says they should be able to change their clothes by themselves by 18 months, like Samuel can change his clothes with assistance, and I think that is the kind of right level that you should be at the moment. But yes, the full length mirror is recommended just because they can see themselves, and they can like get an idea of where everything goes and like really get that. This is a really great thing you need to do as well prior to potty training. So if you're thinking about potty training in the near future, like this is important to be able to get them to pull their trousers up and down, because that's of course one of the things they're going to have to do when they're potty training. The next practical life activity is basically setting the table, or at this stage just putting their cup or their bowl on the table. So Samuel, my son, has a small table, an IKEA table, and chair that he loves to use, and we use it mainly for snacks at the moment, but you can use it obviously for whatever you want, for lunch and dinner as well. But we use it for snacks, and I give him the bowl and I give him the fork or whatever, and he puts it on the table, and then I fill it with the things afterwards, and he really likes that because then he knows food's coming and he really gets used to it. And I think this is a perfect age for them to really get used to giving people things, putting things in places, because they really do understand that. Put it on the table. Come and get your fork. Going along with changing their clothes, after they've changed their clothes, you can get the nappy all bagged up and they can go and put it in the bin. And Samuel absolutely loves doing that because he gets to go into the kitchen, which he really loves, and then put it in the bin and then close the lid. And he's really great at this actually. This is a very age appropriate kind of level activity, I think. Nappy in this bin. Good job. The next practical life activity is they can help to take the washing down or put the washing out. So if I take all the wet clothes out of the washing machine, I put them in a big pile, and then Samuel hands me the wet ones and I hang them, and he can kind of hang them himself a little bit as well. And then when it's time for all the dry ones to come down, he likes to pull them all off, and he finds that really entertaining, and he loves to just be involved with that. And then finally, toddlers of 12 to 18 months old can start to help with cleaning. So you can get them in their own little cleaning set. We have a little one from Melissa and Doug, which we love, and they like pretend clean. You can also give them a cloth. What I do is I give him a cloth to wipe down his little table after he has his snack, and he really loves to do that and gets the idea of cleaning. And there's a whole different bunch of ways you can do with that. I would say start off with pretend cleaning things, and then you can move them on to real cleaning things. But pretty close after you've got done pretend ones, you can kind of start to give them real ones. Samuel's really getting the hang of like brushing the floor or mopping the floor, and it's really fun and nice to see, and it also helps you out long term as well. So those are the 10 practical life activities that I have for you today. I'm going to link here a couple of my Montessori videos. You can go and watch them if you haven't been here before and you haven't seen them. And I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye.